We're going to determine if each matrix is in row echelon form, and if it isn't, we'll state a single row operation which would put the matrix into row echelon form. If you want to review row echelon form, I'll leave a link in the description to my lesson introducing it. So the idea is that each of these 6 matrices have had Gaussian elimination performed on them to put them in row echelon form, or they're one step away from completing that process of being in row echelon form. Link in the description to my lesson on Gaussian elimination if you don't know about that. So take a look at these, feel free to pause and decide for yourself the answers to each question. Let's begin by looking at A. Is this matrix in row echelon form? The answer is no, because in row echelon form, each leading one should occur to the right of the leading ones above it. In this case, we see this leading one, which is occurring to the left of the leading one above it. So these two rows need to be swapped. If we swap rows 1 and 2, that single row operation will put this matrix into row echelon form, just like that. Alright, so that matrix was not in row echelon form. Let's move on to matrix B. Is this matrix in row echelon form? This matrix is not in row echelon form because it has a non-zero row whose leading entry is not 1. To be in row echelon form, each non-zero row needs to have 1 as its first entry. So to put this in row echelon form, we would multiply row 3 by 1/2 to turn that into a leading 1. I'll mention it does depend on the textbook or paper that you're reading. Some authors will consider this to be in row echelon form because they don't require leading 1s, but for our purposes in this course, we do require leading 1s for row echelon form. Now on to matrix C. Is this matrix in row echelon form? Indeed, this one is. All 0 rows occur at the bottom of the matrix, and the non-zero rows have leading entries of 1, where each one occurs further to the right than the one that came above it. So this matrix C is in row echelon form. Let's move on to problem D. Is this matrix in row echelon form? Again, this one is. The only 0 row occurs at the bottom of the matrix, and we see that each leading one occurs further to the right than the one before it. You see that typical staircase pattern of row echelon form. Alright, now on to matrix E. Is this in row echelon form? It is not, and the problem is this 4 here, and this entire row is a bit of a problem. This leading entry is not equal to 1, but in fact we don't want it to be equal to 1, because even if this leading entry was 1, it still wouldn't be in row echelon form, because we would need this leading 1 to occur further to the right than the one above it. That means that, in fact, we don't need to turn this 4 into a 1, we need to eliminate the 4 and make it a 0. So to do that, the single row operation we must carry out is to subtract 4 copies of row 2 from row 3. If we subtract 4 copies of row 2 from row 3, this 4 will be eliminated, and conveniently, 5 minus 4 times 1 is 1. And so we would have a leading 1 as needed, and it would be in row echelon form. Just to make sure you can see that, it would look like this after carrying out that row operation. But I'll put it back to how it was. Originally, it was not in row echelon form. Moving on to matrix F. Is this in row echelon form? Again, here the answer is no, because we have a leading 1 in row 3, which is occurring further to the left than a 1 above it, and that is not acceptable for row echelon form. So the single row operation we must complete to fix this is to swap rows 2 and 3. That way, this one will be right there, and this one will occur further to the right, which is acceptable. So if we swap rows 2 and 3 here, problem solved, it will be in row echelon form. Final example, matrix G. Is this matrix in row echelon form? It is not. It has a 0 row at the bottom, that's fine. We got a leading 1, they're following in the staircase pattern, but then this leading entry is an 8, and again, for row echelon form, we are requiring the leading entry be positive 1. So what we have to do is multiply row 3 by 1/8, That's going to turn this into a 1, and that would turn this into a 1/2, and then the matrix would be in row echelon form. So those are some examples of identifying row echelon form and how to finish getting a matrix into that form. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and be sure to check out my linear algebra course and linear algebra exercises playlists in the description for more. If you found my videos helpful, please consider supporting what I do by joining Wrath of Math as a channel member. You can get early and exclusive access to additional videos and extra practice, and if you join at the premium tier or above, you can access the lecture notes used in my courses.